Testing, testing. All right. What up, peoples? Give me a second. Gotta set up. I don't know why this looks a little blurry. Let me see something. Do the old washing off on the. Okay, that's a lot better. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and share the stream. We uh we chilling. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't got much to talk about, but we're feeling good. Everybody keep asking me when the next show is. We got yo share the stream, share the stream, because we got some big things coming up. Pause. Big things coming up in this future. I got some. I got some heavy hitter guests. Yes, yes, yes. We're doing a show tomorrow. Yes, we're doing a show Thursday. Might do a show Friday. But I'm telling you, you're going to want to tune in. Share the stream. Let everybody know. Let them know. Let them know we got some big things, some big guests coming up. I'm just saying we may have. Wait, I'm gonna wait to announce it. Let me start sharing the stream. I'm getting too excited. I told you I'm saucy. I'm saucy right now. Let me make sure. Hold on. Don't share it yet. I'm sorry. I told y'all to share it. I don't think I changed it. Terry Detroit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you look at my last, I don't know. You still in here, Terry? Yeah, yeah. Let me reply to you too. Oops, sorry about that. Look at my last post. I said Detroit in 6. I never thought we were gonna win this game. I mean, I'm sorry, Knicks in 6. Yeah, not a surprise. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I said, look at my last post. I said Knicks in 6. It's not a surprise that we lost today. Was talking to Lamar. I mean Lamar. Lavar about it today. Not a surprise. I knew we were gonna lose. Um, I hope I ain't leave my goddamn hat. Uh, I don't care about should be's. We're not. Like I tell people, we can go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about it because, like I said, I ain't got no topics really tonight. I'm just up here, feeling a little saucy, feeling a little good. We can talk about that game. As a referee, I know it happens. Like referees and things, they've been missing calls since the land before time. It's nothing new. It is nothing that can be improved. Um, but if you understand basketball, um, you would know Detroit had 8 turnovers in that first quarter. Um, Tim Hardaway missed 7 3-pointers in a row. So it's no, I had Knicks in 6. But the Tim Hardaway missed 7 3-pointers in a row at one point in the game. Um, Malik Beasley didn't hit a shot in the second quarter, so he didn't hit a shot. He hit a. I think he had what 4 points going into halftime. I mean, what what do you want? Like you can't complain about one play. You know, it's basketball. Referees are going to miss calls. Referees are going to make bad calls. It happens. It's part of the game. The part that irritates me is like people don't understand that we're in this new age where everybody wants to talk to the refs. When I was playing basketball, we wasn't even allowed to talk to the refs. So no, I wouldn't say you were cheated because if you really look at that play, Josh Hart was fouled before the ball even got to Tim Hardaway. You know, he was held by Harris. Same thing as Cat was held by Harris on the rebound attempt. Um, the game two, I know a lot of y'all like to mention the 2 minute report, but you only want to mention it on primetime games. The 2 minute report also state when Josh Hart made the game tying layup, he also got fouled. And the Knicks should have went to the line. That would have put us up by one. That would have made a whole different game in game two. There was a lot of calls that Jalen Brunson didn't get in game two, but it's part of the game. I feel like we should have won game two. I think it was bad refereeing in game two. It was also bad refereeing in game three. This game here, game five, was the best referee game that we had all season. Games one, two, three, and four, they were letting them play. I'm not arguing. I am arguing. I mean, I am agreeing that Tim Hardaway did get fouled, but it was also fouls before he even got to the ball. So you can't just want the foul you want. Like it got to be realistic. Just like in game two, I think there was a lot of fouls that they missed. The 2 minute report reflected that. And yes, I read the 2 minute report as a referee because most of these guys that referee, I know them. I've done clinics with them. I don't know why this camera keeps getting blurry, but yeah, I've done clinics with these guys. I've worked with them. Some of them, not all of them, not a lot of them. I worked with some of them, and I know some of them. So like, don't get it twisted. Just because they're NBA refs, trust me, that don't make them no better than me. They just to be an NBA ref. Yes, you do have to have certain criterias, and a lot of them. Being an NBA ref is a lot like bowling. It's who you know and what team you're on. If you're with a good assigner and you're with good people, they can catapult you to get there because it's really all on who you know. And then once you get in the NBA, it's on you to stay there, knowing the rules, reading the rule book. Because let's be real, most of y'all never read a rule book in your life. And let's be real, most of the people that play sports in the NBA now never read a rule book in their life. So it's a lot to refereeing that a lot of people don't know. Plus, like I said, it's like this isn't new that referees be missing calls. This has been happening since the land before time. Like, so you just got to play through it. So it happens. For example, every Cowboy fan is going to tell you that Dez Bryant was a catch. And it probably was. The 2 minute report is trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. The 2 minute report is a cop out. I don't like it because it throws the referees under the bus. Let's be real. To be a referee, it's a lot of human element to this game. It's a lot of times I've made calls that I don't see. Yeah, and Darren will tell you. Darren know a lot of the people that trained me to be a ref. Like it's human nature. You're gonna miss calls. You're gonna make calls. You're gonna make calls that really wasn't the right call. So it happens both sides. You just hope you're not on that end of things. So when I do see, like I said, game two, I think we should have won. I think the officiating wasn't that good. But me knowing it, I know it's part of the game. Like I said, when I played basketball and when I came up, we wasn't even allowed to talk to the ref. If we talked to the refs, it was like, oh, so you want to be a coach? So you want to come sit by me? Come sit on the bench since you want to talk to the ref. But now we are in this day and age where we like AAU has changed a lot. It changed to make it feel like your opinion matters over the rules. And if you understand the rules and if you actually referee, let me tell you something. And Darren, he's up here. He can tell you, refereeing. We need referees bad. And part of that reason why we need them so bad is because people don't want to do the job. It's a difficult job. especially basketball. Basketball is probably the hardest sport to referee because when you blow that whistle, you got to make a split decision right there. With football, I can let the play develop. I can see the play. I can replay it in my mind, and then I can throw the flag if I see something. Baseball is the same thing. When that ball comes through the strike zone, or when the first base, second base, third baseman catches that ball, I don't have to make a play right. I don't have to make a call right then and there. I can analyze the play. I can replay it in my mind, and then I can take as long as I want to make an out safe call in baseball. Volleyball. Volleyball is probably one of the easiest sports to referee because a lot of the plays, the girls know the rules so well that a lot of the times with volleyball, if you don't know, just follow the body language of the players. They'll tell you everything. Um, There's another sport. Um, it's basketball. Like Darren just said, basketball. It's a fast paced sport, so things are happening, and then it's here's what people don't understand about refereeing. Why is it? Whoa, why my comments ain't coming up? I don't know. Here's what people don't understand about basketball. With refereeing, we're always outnumbered. Like you got to understand. It's three referees. It's 10 players. And most when you refereeing sports like AAU, it's two of us and 10 players and the coach. So you got the coaches, you got the players, and then you got, everyone else talking to you, trying to figure out what you call, trying to figure out or root for their team. And you literally have people yelling at you all the time. Like it's mind boggling because I honestly be thinking, like, you came to the game to talk to me. Like, you got a son here or daughter here, and you came to, like, why are you? I haven't heard you cheer on little Johnny at all. But you every time I come up and down the court, you want to have a conversation with me. So like basketball is different. It's more difficult. Um, if just put it to you like this: if you ain't willing to do the job, just imagine how difficult it is. So yeah, we don't really like you, Michaela. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to find out this way on the live. Like, my bad. Like even though we were watching you practice in the bowling factory, yeah, I don't know. It might be the long hair. Once the hair gets to the calves, I think we check out. If you had the braids, just to the hip, we might be like, oh, we fuck with Michaela. But now that you got the braids to the calf, Michaela, we like, we don't know about her. You know what I mean? So just want to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So, but just sorry you had to find out this way. But yeah, but but yeah, but like with basketball, like you have to understand it's a human, and even with baseball, you see it all the time. A lot of the baseball people, they be, um, they definitely miss calls because your strike zone, like my strike zone. Let me be real with you. When I umpire baseball, my strike zone dependent on the level of play that it is. So, for example, if I'm in high school, so one time I had Cross Keys versus Marist, and I had the Marist pitcher that got drafted by the Astros. Can't think of his name, but he's playing. He's a starting pitcher with the Astros now. He used to play for Marist. And if anybody knows this area, Cross Keys has a great soccer program. Let Cross Keys has a great soccer program. So okay, just in case you don't understand what I just said, I once refereed a Cross Keys varsity game, the girls and the boys, and they combined for a total of 8 points. The girls and the boys varsity team for Cross Keys combined for 8 points. And let me let you know this: all 8 points came from the boys. The girls were so bad, they kept getting hurt, and then we just stopped the game. As referees, we went to the coach and were like, hey, coach. Well, hold on. I just remember something that happened. So while we was refereeing the Cross Keys game, 3 players was there. And we are like, hey, man, where your team at? So apparently the guy that was chauffeuring the rest of the team got arrested for driving on a suspended license. So the rest of the team made it late. So they had to start with 3 people. The girls did. But the boys, and here's the crazy everything is coming back to this game to make it funnier. The crazy part of that game was they scored 8 points in. So everybody that knows, high school basketball is 8 minutes a quarter. So with 8 minutes a quarter, so 8 times 8 is 64. So for 63 minutes, for 63 minutes and 58 seconds, they had 6 points. No, they had 5 points. Oh, the dude from Cross Keys at the buzzer threw up a Hail Mary and made it to make them have 8 points. So that's how bad Cross Keys is. So umpiring Cross Keys and Marist, my strike zone is wide because we're not going to be here all day. Now, when I do perfect game and the people are more skilled, I have an actual strike zone. But if I teach you how to do baseball, I can't teach you your strike zone. Same thing with basketball. Basketball is one of the sports that your foul may not be my foul. Even though basketball is a little bit more, no, basketball has a lot of gray areas. Unlike baseball, baseball is more black and white. But basketball has a lot of gray areas because what you may deem as a charge, I may deem as a block. What you may deem as a travel, you may deem as a legal dribble. What you may deem as a foul, I may deem as not a foul. There's a lot of gray areas in basketball. So watching real-time basketball, a lot of the contact I may see being forced by the offensive player, I'm not going to give you that. And a lot of times in high school, I see players that look for fouls. I'm not giving that to you. Like, you're looking for play basketball. Don't play me. But not saying that's what happened in this Detroit Knicks game. But you have situations like there's no improving that. There's no way you can improve it. Because even if you find somebody to replace him, he's going to miss a call. Players are going to miss call. I mean, referees are going to miss call. The problem that I have in today's sport is, why are you worried? You're not worried about the 6 layups you miss, but you're worried about the one call I made at the end. And then you have basketball where there's this notion that you don't make calls at a certain point in the game. Oh, it's 10 seconds left. You just let them play. You don't make that call at that part of the game. Where in the rule book does it say with less than 30 seconds to go, less than 10 seconds, less than 5 seconds, if there's a foul, you don't call it? Where do you see that at? Case in point, I was doing I was scheduled to do the semi-pro and championship game at a Conyers Middle School. I'm doing the semi-pro game. And I got moved out of the championship game because of this. Now, mind you, let me also say this. No, a foul is not, your foul and my foul is not the same thing. You may deem it as a foul, but if I go based on the rule book, it may not be a foul. No, so that's not true. A foul is not a foul. Now, do I think Josh Hart fouled Tim Hardaway? Yes, I do. That's not what we're talking about. But no, your foul and my foul is not the same. And the reason why I can say that is because I've been in action. Until you referee, you're not a referee. Hold up. Let me say this also. Read the rule book. Until you have read that rule book for understanding, there's not a rule that I don't know in the high school rule book. I've read the NBA rule book. I don't know it like I know the high school national federation rule book because I don't call or know NBA rules. College is different. I know college rules also. I do referee. I've refereed some college, some JUCO, but I've refereed semi-pro football where I had to know the there is no there. Let me also there is no such thing as a certified or certificate for refereeing. There is no such thing. In order to be a referee, you find out who your local association is and you go sign up. There's no you don't need a certificate. You don't you every all the training is on the job training. The best training for refereeing is getting your ass out there in the field and train. I mean and work. That is the best referee training there is. It don't matter how much classroom you do. It don't matter how much you read that rule book. Until you go out there, there is no training like on the job training. But going back to my story. So there was a play. It was a 1 point game. The home team was losing by 1. He was at the free throw line. When he got to the free throw line, it was a 1-on-1. This is something I wish the NBA would adopt. I wish they would go to a 1-on-1. I think the games would be. I think free throws would mean a lot more if the NBA goes back to 1-on-1. But it was a 1-on-1 situation. The home team was at the free throw line. They were down by 1. When they were down, they were at the free throw. He missed the free throw. The best player on the team, mind you, let me reiterate this. This is middle school. Middle school. Middle school. So I want you to imagine the how these kids are. He caught it on one end of the basket, laid it up with no dribbles on the other end. Came off my side. I was the C in the situation. So we're doing 3-man for this middle school game for the championship and semi-pro. So what happened? So when I mean the C, when you're administering free throws, you have the C on one side, which I was by myself. You have the trail, which is on the 25-foot line, and then you have the lead that is underneath the basket on the other opposite side of where I'm at. So I have everything that happened. So rebound caught on my side. The guy takes a million steps and does a reverse on the other side. Blow my whistle. I call travel. We got 2 seconds to go. Cost them the game. Go on the other side. Coach comes up to me and says, "You called that travel?" I said, "Yes, I did." He said, "That was a bad place to call a travel." I said, "Well, coach, find me in the rules where it says I can't call travel with this much time left. Find me a rule, and I got you." We go back into the locker room. I have 2 20-year vets with me. They are chastising me because they feel like I should not have called that call with that at stake. And I simply asked them, where in the rules does it say? Oh, it doesn't say in the rules, but it's just a notion that we don't referee notions. You never, and Darren, you know Ed. I'm talking to Ed about this. You never taught me to referee notions. There's no unwritten rule that we referee by. If the GHSA was monitoring this game, they would have asked me why I didn't call a travel. So I got kicked out of the championship game of that middle school because of that. But guess what? That did not stop me from advancing because everywhere else that saw that play knew I made the right call. And I continued to get varsity games after that, after refereeing a middle school game championship. I continued to get varsity games after that. Oh yeah, Ed. Yeah, Ed is Ed is amazing at that. Yes, that is correct. But I bet you do have referee camps. I don't know why my hold on. Let me try this again. Let me put this out. Try to find my comment section again. Okay, let me see if that works. And my man right here. Nope, that's still it. Oh yes, it is. It's right here. Why is it all the way up here? And Darren, I know you know this gentleman right here. What up, my guy? Sean, my guy Sean right here. He'll tell you. Sean was one of my first mentors with football. He taught me a lot with football. Now, let me also address this. You are absolutely right. You do have to go to camp, and there is a test for high school. But guess what? You don't have to pass that test to call high school. You have to pass the test to call varsity. You don't have to pass the test to call high school. A lot of people, and then not only that, you know as well as I do, when you go to high school, they give you the answers to the test. They give you the answers to the test. So it's not really like it's still no certificate. Like it's one of the most simplest things you can do. Um you gonna laugh when you hear who the third ref was. It was oh my gosh, what was his name? Cool dude. He refs flag with us, but when he refs flag, he will only do like maybe 5 games and then he's out. I think his name is Alan too or Alex. Real cool old dude. Oh, I can't think of his name, Sean. It's gonna kill me. But when he come out there to do flag, he used to only do like 6 games and he was out. He was like, "Yeah, I ain't about to kill me." So it was Ed. I think his name was Alan. I think it wasn't Zarek. Dang, I can't think of his name. It wasn't Z. I think it was Alan or Alex or something like this. Something I got a feeling this something with an A, but or Scott. No. It's not. It was cool, dude. Cool as a motherfucker. Like even white hat, but even when he throw the he just nothing phases him. Cool as a mug. Old guy, old school. Can't think of his name. But been out there a while. You probably if I say his name, I know you'll know what I'm talking about. Um, but it was yeah, I can't think of his name. But let me let you know what we got going on too. So I am doing a show tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mr. 899 Demetrius Wilcox will be on the show. He'll be on the show Thursday. I was trying to get him on tonight. It was a little short notice. Thursday, I have the CEO of the UBA, Tynell Tate, coming on the show. Send me your questions you want me to ask him. We're going to get down. He's going to explain to us how the UBA got started. What is his goals for the UBA? How can we improve things here in Georgia? And let's get this mixer sold out. If you don't have a team for the mixer, reach out to me. I'm going to go. I can put you on a team. I'm not just going to put you with anybody. I'm going to make sure everything is straight. But if you don't have a team, I need everybody to bowl this mixer. They have the doubles. They have the trios unholy where you can bowl with anybody from any franchise. But make sure you get a team signed out. We got them to change it from paid in full. It is now deposit. So just pay your $75 deposit to lock it in. So make sure that you get onto it. I'm gonna ask him about that too, Jacob, because no comment until I ask him what that goal is. Um, but also we got Flash Weekend coming up. You need the trios. Okay, I got you, D Mac. I got you, D Mac. I get you on the team. But do you already have a spot? Negative. It's UBA event. It won't be. But um, but yeah. So Thursday we got Tynell Tate, CEO of the UBA, coming on the show. Tomorrow we got Demetrius Wilcox, Mister 899, coming on the show. Um, I think the mixer is on the 17th, I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Um, there you go. All right, I got you, Jacob. But yeah, let's get this. Yeah, I think it's the 17th. Let's get this mixer sold out. It's at Lil Burn. So it definitely should sell out being at Lil Burn. But yeah, so we got the tour stop coming up Saturday. I believe Bad Intentions is still doing their tournament on Saturday. This Saturday, that is. Oh man, I forgot to tell old boy. Um, I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Am I right, y'all, in the chat? Is it the 17th, May 17th? It is Unholy. If you don't know what Unholy is, if you are part of the UBA, it has to be 3 members of the franchise. Yes, Demetrius did shoot 300 again tonight and last night. I think he shot it at Southern tonight. Yes, it is May 17th. May 17th. I heard that the mixer is also for people not in the UBA. So I'm definitely going to ask. I'm definitely gonna we'll ask Tynell if it is. Yeah, Demetrius done shot half the damn 300s I've ever shot in just 1 week. Yeah, Reggie, Mother's Day is the 11th. I thought something was off about that. So the mixer is May 17th. Yeah, so we are all right. I got you, Reggie. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put you. Might have a decent. I might have a good team for you too. Yeah. So yeah, we vibing. Like we chilling. What else? Let me see you. Yeah, I think this weekend, Bad Intentions tournament is this weekend. So we definitely um yeah, somebody else just hit me up about the mixer. They just I got you. See Josh White. I think also I'm bowling in the big three. Not the big league, I'm sorry. Whenever that starts. The big league um starts. Oh, also we could let's talk about it. We talking sports today. Somebody hit up I done tagged Dave. I would love to talk about the Shador Sanders situation without feelings getting involved. But I, the crazy thing, let me say this about Facebook. I don't know how y'all be coming up with y'all conclusions. If I post something or say something, so let's talk about it. So I posted, I want to be exactly right with what I posted. So I posted, okay, let's take Shador out the question, out the equation for 1 second. Because y'all thought we forgot. They did the same thing to Lamar Jackson. So what is that excuse? Where did I say Lamar Jackson got drafted in the 5th round with that? Where did I say that? I get comments like, "Oh, you trying to push a narrative." What did he say? Lamar was a 1st-round pick. Stop making shit up. What did I make up? Lamar was what he did in Louisville. To me, he was the 2nd best quarterback in that draft. He was not a 32nd pick. If y'all remember, they were talking to him trying to change his position. And they were saying he may not get drafted as a quarterback because of his position. Because they didn't feel like he was good at quarterback. And then when he said, "I am not moving from quarterback," his draft stock plummeted to 32nd. That is the same thing in my eyes that happened to Shedeur. He said something in these interviews, they didn't like it, and they didn't want to draft him. There is no difference. There is nowhere in my statement did I say Lamar Jackson was a 5th-round pick. I said they did the same thing to him by not drafting him where he should have been. They did not feel like he was worth a top pick. He fell to 32nd. Nowhere in there did I say Lamar Jackson was a 5th-round pick. Reading is fundamental. A lot of y'all read not to understand, but y'all read to argue. I'm not going to argue with you about dumb shit. Nowhere did I say he was a 5th-round pick. Systemic racism, if y'all really want to talk about it. Because I like I told y'all my last show, like I'm tired. Like it's stupid. It's stupid. Yeah, they did the same thing to Lamar Jackson. They tried to change his position. He wouldn't change. They didn't like what he was saying in the interviews when they mentioned him playing another position, and his draft stock plummeted. Whatever Shedeur, and then here's another thing. Here's another thing that is pissing me off about this situation. Where's the interviews? Somebody pull up the interview. Because all we're going based off of what we hear. We don't know he really blew his interview. That's just what they're saying. Pull up the interview. What did he say? Shedeur, come out and say what you said in the interview. Like you want to talk about making shit up. These phantom interviews that happen, where are they at? Where are they at? Eli Manning got drafted and said, "I don't want to play for this team. I'm not going." No alarms went off. No nothing. Johnny Manziel get all of this shit he got in college. Drug user. It was another one. It was Johnny Manziel. Who else was the other one that was a big Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield was another one. You're not going to sit here and tell both of these dudes, white dudes, got big opportunities, drafted where they were supposed to be drafted, and was nothing but troublemakers in college. Drug use, alcohol use, arrested. Didn't one of them get suspended for some shit? But you want to tell me he had a bad interview, and because of his character and he's cocky, he don't deserve to get drafted where he was? Do I think he was a 1st-round pick? No. Do I think he was a top 5 pick? No. I damn sure don't think he was a 5th-round pick. You're not going to tell me he was a 5th-round pick quarterback. I don't care if you 0 for 3 and bold. None of that shit matters. Like, all of that shit is stuff that you are perpetuating just to prove your point. And it makes no sense. Yes, he was always, motherfucker ain't had no offensive line. Randy Moss is a bad example because Randy Moss actually got in trouble. That's why his draft stock plummeted. So I understand the Randy Moss not getting picked where he deserved. He was getting arrested in college. and stuff like that. So that was his own fault that teams didn't want to take that chance on Randy Moss. So that understandable. Shador, you got to give me something more than he's just a cocky guy. You got to give me something more than that. Whether what his play on the field and his leadership to those people, that was what they got a clip of Travis Hunter at his press conference. Keep doing this because he's like, man, I can't. Are we done here? Because I want to see Shador's name get called. I don't want to miss that. You're not going to tell me a guy that is that cocky and not a leader of his team when his teammates is willing to like, yo, I don't want to talk to y'all right now on my big day. I want to see my man get picked. I don't give a fuck no more. Systemic racism. That's what the fuck it is. And all of y'all on these comments that was in my comments, you just don't get it. We got a cop, a guy that already publicly called a racist. Like you don't like you don't y'all don't see your own racism. That is the problem. You don't see it because you don't have to go through it. You're not gonna. Every fucking touchdown, he this. He in the NFL. Baker Mayfield is ass. Colin Kaepernick took a knee, led his team to the Super Bowl, and can't get a fucking backup job. Fuck Baker Mayfield. Straight like that. This systemic racism led by the NFL, led by these players. You know what? I'm sorry if you didn't want this known, but I knew. You know why a lot of players don't want to do the Columbine? Don't want to take part in that shit? Because it feels like a slave auction. That's exactly what it is. Ask Sump was a high-ranking high school player. Ask him what they had him doing. They literally had him on stage in his boxers, going like this, making a 360, and saying your name out in front while they check your body type. That is a slave auction if I don't know about one. This systemic racism, y'all motherfuckers in this bowling alley act like y'all don't like somebody is blind from y'all racism. Like, I'm not from here, so I'm not scared of y'all or scared to tell y'all. A lot of y'all motherfuckers is closet racist. And y'all act like we don't know. Or you act like people are stupid. Oh, no, I slap 5 with every black person that strikes. I'm not racist. Nigga, stop it. You can tell in the way y'all talk. Look at the sports. Being the fact that you can't hear what I'm saying, the difference is with when I'm asking what's the difference between Shador and Lamar, and you pick a round he got picked in. Lamar Jackson should have been a top 5 pick, period. Top 10 pick. Okay. Okay. Let's dial back a little bit from 5. Top 10 pick. He should have been a top 10 pick. That is a fact. That is a fact. And I'm talking about his college play. I'm not even thinking about what he's doing now. His college play, he should have been a top 5 pick. I'm sorry. He should have been a top 10 pick. Excuse me. Shador should have been in the first round. You're not going to tell me he's a 5th round quarterback. You're not going to tell me because he botched some interviews, his play is any different. Because if that's the case, why did LaMelo Ball go first round? Because he could play basketball. Nobody in the NBA gave a fuck about all the antics his dad or that y'all claim he was doing. He went first round, and not only did he win first round, right now the Charlotte Hornets was voted this year as the worst franchise. And who has a top 5 jersey sale? LaMelo Ball. It's the same thing with Shador. He's going to have the top. Who got some money that want to bet that he has a top 10 jersey this season? He's going to sell tickets. It's going to be a case where they're going to have to trade him to somebody that's going to use him, or they're going to be forced to put him in the game because people are going to Colorado, nobody knew who the fucking mascot was for Colorado before Deion got there. Nobody knew it was a fucking buffalo. Nobody knew what colors they were. Soon as Deion and Shador got there, they were the most watched games in college football this last 2 seasons. They were the most watched games because that's what the fans wanted to see. He's going to sell tickets. That's no shadow of a doubt. As a backup, they're going to be at the games just in case he came in. You can't deny that. You cannot deny that. That is fact. None of y'all even knew Colorado had a fucking university before Deion got there. None of you. Unless you're a real college football fan, none of y'all really knew. Let's be real. Yes, I knew. I'm a sports fan. I knew who went to Buffalo. I was a fan of Cordell Stewart. I'm sorry, Colorado. Excuse me. I was a fan of Cordell Stewart. I was a big college football fan. I was a big Penn State fan before the Joe Paterno stuff happened. When the Joe Paterno stuff happened, that's when I dialed out of football. Like, that hurt me because I was a Joe Paterno fan. And I got kids, so when I heard that happen, that was crazy to me. But you can't tell me that Shador ain't going to put butts in those seats. You can't tell me that. These people, the systematic racism that goes on is every day. We deal with this shit all the time. Why do I have to conform to a fucking interview? Let me be real. Okay, let's be real. I grew up a Deion Sanders fan. I grew up knowing who Deion was. I grew up watching Deion Sanders play football. And then when he started getting into commentary, you kind of started seeing who Deion the personality was. Then he had a reality show opening up more into who Deion Sanders was. So we knew who Shador was way before high school because I think he was just a freshman when that show started, if I'm not mistaken. You got to see who he was, who Deion was raising. So you're not going to tell me that because he botched an interview when we have 4 years and you know who his dad is. You know his dad is not taking no mess. You hear how his dad talks. You know he's not raising nothing like that can't be coached. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's systemic racism. And I don't care how much you white folks try to deny it. That's what it is. When you tell me I got to be more suit and tie than a motherfucker who just got kicked out of college and entered the draft for alcohol, gambling and shit, and he gets to be a top 5 pick, but I can't because I ain't show up with a suit and tie and my hair is the way it grows out of my fucking head. Like, stop it. You can deny it all you want. You can say it's not there. It is there in everything. Just to let you know, us black folks don't want to talk to you the way we talk to you. When you leave, we don't talk to y'all the same way we talk to each other because we know we can't. Like, some of y'all act like you're fucking delusional and you're not. This stuff happens. It happens every day in our world. So yes, we're able to identify it. So when I call Jason Hell a fucking racist, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I was in the military. Ask anybody who was in the military. The military is one of the most racist fucking jobs you can have in America. Other than working at fucking Williamsburg, Virginia as a fucking slave on their as a slave reenactor on their plantations. Yes, they still have that. Crazy. I remember when I moved to Virginia from Brooklyn, my school did a field trip to Williamsburg, Virginia, and we went to a plantation where they had slave reenactments. And I'm sitting there like, how the fuck do you get this job? Just because we learned how to adjust from the systemic racism, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore. Like, stop it. I don't care what you think of me. If I call a spade, it's a spade. There's no white man that can sit there in my fucking face and ask me, can you read? That is crazy. Like I said in the last show, y'all walk around, oh man, you just got hung. There's no fucking way I'm allowing that. You cannot talk to me like that. Like I said on the last show, yo, we can't use the term YN in the bowling alley. We gotta watch it. Oh, y'all think everything is racist? Yes. 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 You still have white supremacy in this world. What they did to Shador, setting an example, and Randy, for you to think that owners don't talk to each other, what kind of world are you living in? How do you think, who do you think the union talks to, the players union talk to? They talk to the owners who gather together to see if they want to accept the players union's proposal when they have new bargaining agreements and stuff. Why do you think that matter of fact, it's been publicly known that Jerry Jones is one of the leaders of the NFL owners, because when he comes out, when they have bargaining this last time, he came out and said, yeah, we at our owners meeting. So for people to sit there and think teams don't join together and be like, hey, we're not picking this dude because of this, and this. And then you don't think people notice, hey man, I noticed 5 teams passed on Shador. Let me call them and see why. Like, be real. Like, we gotta stop. As black people, we have to stop making these motherfuckers comfortable with not. It pisses me off the amount of racism that don't get called out. Because we just think, oh, they're just gonna do it. We don't call that shit out. You know, when I said that about Jason Hale, you know how many fucking people called me and was like, hey man, black people, hey man, I hung around him. I don't think he's racist. You think he just wears it on his sleeve? You think he's gonna put a jersey on his back that says I'm racist? No. No. One of the big tells that I can tell that he is, and that the UBA put him in charge not knowing, because, everybody that shakes our hand and smiles in our face can't be racist. No. Put them in a situation, when they're in situations and they don't want to show up. I'm going to tell you this. The Deep South, I'm going to be real with you. Nobody knows who the fuck Jason Hale looks like. Nobody knows. Because he talks shit behind his keyboard and don't show up. He talked all that shit about that last year's Charlotte tournament and didn't show up. Because racism don't want to face you. Because now we're not in a time where if I look at a white lady, I'm going to jail. No, we're at a time where if you say some racist shit, I'm going to slap the shit out you. And that's exactly what is going on with Shador. That's exactly what happened with the NFL. That's exactly what people are mad at with the Colin Kaepernick. You can't tell no black person that, oh, he's disrespecting the country. Nigga, we are the country. The fuck you think? This shit was built on our backs. I'm tired of us sitting around in this fucking bowling alley and in these fucking sports acting like we ain't the one, we ain't that person. Stop pussyfooting around these motherfuckers. Call their ass out. Stop saying you got hung. Change that shit to you got trapped. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. The way they talk to us in this bowling alley, the way they talk to our women, and y'all sit there around and stand for that shit. Shit is crazy. Stop giving them our dollar. Figure out how to open our own bowling alley. Make TNBA stand up for something. Because they were on the right track. But goddamn. Systemic racism is why Shador went the 5th round. You can try to say it ain't. You can try to say it all you want. They corroded against that young man. They coerced against him, coerced against Dion. They hate what's going on in Colorado. Prime example. I never told this story. Prime example. So, a lot of people don't know. Well, people. Thank you, Reggie. Like they be literally screaming this out in the bowling alley. Shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. Another thing too is a lot of people don't know that what's his name? Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter went to school around the corner. He went to school around the corner. He went to Collins Hills. Travis Hunter. Out here, Collins Hills. I refereed him his senior year a couple of times. When I refereed him, it was for basketball. I'm gonna be honest with you. The first couple of times I met Travis Hunter, I never knew he played football. Because when he was introduced to me, and they introduced him to me, they said he's going to college. I'm refereeing basketball. I only assumed it's basketball. I only assumed it was basketball. So when I refereed him, it was basketball. So he was a damn good basketball player. So I'm thinking he's going to league for basketball, right? So when I refereed him about 3-4 times. And then I found out it was for football. Because I had a referee friend, his son played for Collins Hills too. So when he got drafted, I'm trying to think. There was an event at Lilburn. No, I'm sorry, before he got drafted. I'm sorry. It was the day he announced he was going to Jackson State. There was, and I remember who it was with a passion. I remember when he announced he was going to Jackson State, everybody threw a fucking fit. I was at the door smoking. And there was 2 dudes that was I was at a corner and they didn't know I was on the other side of the corner. And the stuff that they were saying about Travis Hunter, and I wish I could be with them when was the draft? Monday or Saturday? I wish I could see their face when he got drafted because everything they said was wrong. They talked about him like a dog. Oh, they think Dion this, Dion that. I ain't gonna lie, they called him everything but a nigga. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was just waiting for it to come out. But as soon as I turned the corner to go back in, conversation halted. Why are you so mad that the number 1 prospect in the country goes to Jackson State with Deion Sanders? Why does that make you so mad? Because, you're white protected Florida States, North Carolinas, all those schools, they know they were going to take a hit and they know this was a changing of the guards. Let more black prospects go to HBCUs, especially in basketball. Know your fucking sports history. Understand why there's hand checking now. Know your history. Changing, let something be get changed. Like they talked about him like a dog because he chose to go to a HBCU with Dion. Make that make sense. But no, Nah, y'all don't believe me. Like, let me tell you something. I can spot it from around the corner. Do I think all white people are racist? No, because that's gonna be the next thing. No, just because you hang out or you chill with a couple of black folks or you tolerate us, because that's really what it is. Just because you tolerate us, that does not make you not racist. Whenever you come up to me talking in slang that I know ain't yours, I nigga, that is racist. You come up to me, give me some dap, I'm gonna slap the shit out you because I know you're racist. No, shake my hand because that's what you do. That's your culture. All these people that talk like us, that we get away with it, like yo, no, like that shit needs to stop. I don't care how you feel about me for what I'm saying. I don't care because your grandparents and your great grandparents didn't care about my grandparents, about the work they put in. They didn't care. So I don't care how you feel right now. You made us uncomfortable. That's what I tell people. Everybody who knows me know one of my favorite sayings: 400 years, my people ain't get paid. I need everything owed to me. I don't give a fuck if it's a chicken nugget. I need it. 400 years, my people ain't get paid. So for me making you uncomfortable for whatever time we ain't going to equal up to 400 years. So what do we need and what do we want? What is the end goal? Treat us like you treat your own. No one said all this shit about Baker Mayfield. No one mentioned interviews. He got high. He get a job. They still Johnny Manziel. They give him chance after chance after chance. Colin Kaepernick didn't do a damn. He has a squeaky clean record. Motherfucker took a knee for black injustice, and he disrespecting the flag. How? 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 I fought a lot of y'all who even said that never even fought for this. I fought for this country. I fought for the blanket of freedom you sleep under every fucking night. And I still got to fill out a fucking survey and get asked and get treated a certain way. I got my ass whooped by the police when I was serving for my country because I was a threat. Billy Rhodey went up to Terry and said, "Oh, he's hostile." After this nigga told me to suck his dick. Pause. He told that to me, but and they had the nerve to tell Terry that what did he say, Terry? I'm intimidating. Oh, now I'm intimidating because you can't put me in chains and you can't hang me. Now I'm intimidating. Like I said, it's not all of you. It's not all of them, but it is a lot of them that spoils the bunch. And the systemic racism is real. Stop trying to play in our face and act like it's not. Hold on, let me see. But also, I don't mean it like that. My bad. I don't mean it like that. But you have some people that changes the way they talk, and I know I'm a little extra right now, Holton. Please forgive me. No, you're good, Holton. I'm a little extra right now. I'm a little on the sauce, but you see it because they change their whole demeanor when talking to black people versus talk to me how you talk. I want to meet who you are because I'm gonna be me regardless. That's all I know how to be. I've anybody on here that really knows me, and I have family on here, and I have they'll tell you like, yo, I am me. And they'll tell you I've done it all. I've had my own business, successful. I've worked corporate America, successful. I've worked for 2 Fortune 50 companies, not Fortune 500. I worked for 2 Fortune 50 companies. So I see it. And I was in the military. I seen it. So I definitely Yeah, yeah. But it's just I. But the point that I'm trying to make is it is a difference with certain people, and we see it and we notice it. Like, because you're not going to tell me that Baker Mayfield and with all the things that happened to him in college and Johnny Manziel that they should have had more opportunities than Colin Kaepernick for just taking a knee during the national anthem to bring awareness to social injustice for the very things that I'm talking about now. That is my point. They blackballed him for that. So when you look at Lamar Jackson, who has the afro, who let me put it to you like that. I'm glad I just mentioned that. They had to let me tell you how crazy this sounds. They had to implement a law that had to get passed through Congress that you cannot discriminate against me based on how my hair grows out of my head. I just want you to sit with that for a second. They passed a law. So that means somebody had to write a bill. It had to go through the branches of government. It had to go through Congress. Then it had to reach the president's desk for him to sign off on it. Just for us to be able to get a job based on how our hair grows out of our heads. Let me put it to you in even more perspective. If I comb out my beard, right? I've been all day. It's not combed out, so it looks sloppy right now. But if I comb out my beard and I make it look real nice, right? How I look right now, I cannot referee a high-ranking playoff basketball game in high school right now. No matter how good of a referee I am, no matter how good of a referee right now I am, and I'm a damn good referee, I cannot get a high-ranking high school varsity game based on how I look right now because of my beard. They will tell me I have to cut this off in order to get a playoff game. Just to put it to you like just to let you understand, I went to a college camp. This is when give me y'all a lot. I don't know if Darren is still up here or Sean is still up here. They can tell you I'm not lying. I went to a high school basketball. No, I went to a college camp where y'all know me. Let me stand up. You see the belly? Y'all see it, right? This is an extra large shirt. I'll probably be referring in a shirt just one size smaller to make it nice and tight, right? So y'all see the belly, right? Right? There was a man that is a credible referee, damn good referee, and his what they call it, he got the Dunlap. His belly Dunlapped over his belt, right? I'm at a college camp. I'm sweating bullets. I'm hustling. Because one thing about me when I referee, for a while, I'm in the gym now, but that was my gym time. Like I used to run hard pause because that's my exercise. Like I'm trying to get, and then I like to see how fast I'm pretty fast for those that play softball with me. They know pretty fast. So I gave you my belly to get you to understand this a man that referees college that has the Dunlap told me I need to lose weight if I want to referee in his association. Sir, you're bigger than me. You can't run as fast as me. Because one thing about refereeing, they always tell you, don't let them kids beat you to the baseline. Once them kids beat you to the baseline, it's time to retire. What do they say? Like you can't you Some of this stuff people just don't. They yeah, y'all have no idea a lot of what we go through in order to keep sane and not snap off. Like we, especially being here in the South, um, one of the first books. Oh, it's out there. One of the first books I've ever read from back to front was Malcolm X. Um, I can't wait till my daughter, my kids get a little bit older, because that's I'm going to read that book with them. When I was in school, growing up in Brooklyn, Black History wasn't just for February. Like we had constant Black History reports we had to do, constant Black History competitions, constant field trips. I remember we took a field trip. I remember when they. I'm about to. If one of y'all asked me to fucking sing, I'm telling you, I'm a body slam y'all. So in Brooklyn, I used to be a part of this famous choir, People's Christian Academy Glee Club. We used to travel all over the same. When they opened that Martin Luther King Memorial, you can look this up. We got selected to go and sing there. So we were one of the first schools to come out from Brooklyn to come out to Atlanta and sing. For which was a very cool experience. But it taught us a lot. Like it 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 taught me it taught me patience. Yeah, it taught me patience because, especially in the military, because in the military, um, you have all types of walks of life. I kind of learned to let people be people. So in the military, I strongly think um, you have people that never seen snow. You have people that never been around white folks. You got people that never been around black folks. You got Asian people that never been around black or white folks. So you have all types of walks of life, and you have to figure out how to walk and deal with each other. So you learn patience. You learn to let people be people. You learn that a lot of white people don't understand the black experience in life. And you just want to teach them to. It's not their fault because, however, it's never the person's fault on how they were raised. They have no control over that. For prime example, before I moved to Georgia, from New York, I moved to Pennsylvania to try to save money to move to Georgia. When I was in Pennsylvania, I played softball. Played softball a lot. Um, Softball was like the softball was the bowling. How we think about bowling, it was softball out there. We played 4 nights a week. Crazy part, I bowled one night a week, not knowing all of this stuff. I had a I had a ball. Y'all gonna laugh at this. I had a ball and shoes in a satchel in the back of my car. I ain't even have a roller. I had a satchel. I had one ball. No, I think I had two. I had two. I had two. I had a plastic one and a ebonite something. I don't even know what it was to this day. But softball was key. So when I played with this team, Um, when I played with this team, he had this brother. He was like 16 years old. And I don't know what he was learning in school, but it was a period of time where every time he seen me, he would ask about the black experience. And he would ask it in a kid type of way. Like he was like, "Hey man, you mind if I ask you about, being," he asked me, you asked, and I was like, "No, I don't mind." And he would ask me stuff like, "What does it feel like if I say the N word? What does that mean to you? Why is it bad? Why?" And he was just being really inquisitive. And I appreciated that. Now his brother, when his brother found out what was going on, his brother kind of got mad at him. I was like, "No, no, 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 you can't get mad at him because he genuinely wants to know." And I think that's where we fail as people itself. We're first and foremost, we are more alike than we are not alike. And I think we don't realize that. You bleed, you hurt, you cry, you laugh, you be sad, you be happy, we be sad. We're more alike than what we are. I think the problem is when we start thinking we're better than the next. Um, and when we start when we start doing things, and I'm not talking about, I hope I say this word right, is it called nepotism, where you give your father, I mean, where your father gives the son a job, and so I think it's nepotism. We're not talking nepotism because that's a whole different subject. I'm never upset about nepotism. I pray I'm saying that word right because y'all gonna fry me if I'm not. I never have a problem with that. If because you got to think logically. If I start a company, yeah, I want my son to work there. Or if I've been working there for a while and I'm at a high ranking place, um, of course I will want my son to have the experience. I feel like I worked as hard as I could so my daughter can go to college without having to pay for it and not having to be in debt and having student loans. Like I worked my ass. My daughter has a full ride. I don't know about grad school. I'm checking on that, but 4 year, she has a full ride because I worked my ass off for that. She will never understand how hard I worked to give her that. But so I'm not talking about that. The hurt and the pain comes when we have to work extra hard to be recognized for doing the same things that somebody else is doing or less than us. We always have to be over and beyond. We always have to we always have to have proper manners everybody should have proper manners. But we always have to show and we have to go above and beyond to show we're happy around or show we can do it or we can't take a day off. And that's where the problem is. It's like I can do 10 times the work Joe Snow could do 5 times the work, but just because he's white, they're going to look at him more than they look at me. That is the problem that we have. Um, don't get it twisted. There are a lot of cases where people do try to claim racism that just is just not there. Like, yes, I'm not. I agree. There are a lot of people that be like, "Hey, man, he being racist. Tell me what happened." And then I hear the story, and I got to be like, "Well, I don't think he was. You're just not that guy, you know." So I get it, but there are certain characteristics in people. From me being in the military, because let me tell you something, and I think anybody who's in the military can tell you this. Most of the racism they know in the military, they could get away with it. Don't nobody care. Tough titty, especially if they're a high ranking officer. Tough titty. Oh, he was racist to get him transfer. Ask for a transfer. So when you look at the NFL and you look at their history, I've talked to people, and there's people in this bowling community that you may not know that was high, that could have been football ready, that could have been high up there, but they didn't like the practices of the NFL. Or there's certain people that got drafted in the NFL, played their cards, got the NFL, got their first check, started their business, and got the fuck out of there. This ain't for me. Can't be mad at them. But what we can't do is act like the part that frustrates me so much about it is when we act like it doesn't exist. That's the only part that frustrates me. Is when we act like it doesn't exist, or when you say certain stuff, like when somebody, a high ranking official, fuck up and then they try to retract their statement and ask you, can y'all read? That is highly offensive. You never ask a black person, can you read? Because I guarantee you, they have a great grandmother, a great uncle, or someone back then that had to drop out of school due to systemic racism, and they can't read. I have grandparents that couldn't read that was farmers in South Carolina, Ridgeland, South Carolina, 30 minutes from Hilton Head, where the rich go. About, I think it's an hour, maybe 45, maybe less than that, 45 minutes from Savannah. They have a farm. We still own that property. Farm. Let me give you an example. Let me hear. Here's an example. My grandfather. Hold on, what was, lost my train of thought. Trying to think of the example I was. Oh, I used to have a problem with the way my mother raised me. I was like, damn, she was tough. She was hard. My mother was military too. I'm like, God, why are you always so hard on me? Like, why? Like, it's like I couldn't do nothing right in this lady's eyes. But as I got older, as I got into the military, and just because I got out of school, I didn't stop reading on Black history. I realized, and a lot of y'all don't realize this now with your parents and baby boomers, I realized my mother was raised on survival because she was raised by my grandmother who came up right before segregation started, who was also raised by slave owners, by people who was raised by slaves. So my grandmother came up in a point in time where you couldn't look white folks in the eye. It was, you had to say yes sir, no sir, and if you said something wrong, they were going upside your head. So my grandmother raised my mother the same ways. Like, hey, my mother came up. My mother was born in 1955, around the start of segregation. So my mother went to school during segregation, and then when segregation ended, she also went to school with white folks that didn't want her at the school. And then she raised me because that's what she came up on, which she was raised by somebody who was raised by people who owned slaves. So that's why my mother was so hard on me, because if you look at the generations past going to now, every generation going forward has it easier than the previous one. My generation has it easier than my mother's generation. My kids has it easier than my generation. Their kids is going to have it well, we pray their kids have it easier than them. So once you realize who they were raised by, slave owners. I keep saying slave owners, excuse me. They were raised by actual slaves, people who were born into slavery. So now that we don't have that issue, it's still passed down on the opposite side. It's still second nature because that's what you were brought up on. See, a lot of black people came up off of struggle and they came up off of survival. So that gets passed down. It don't matter. My mom was very like I didn't miss no meals growing up because my mother was going to she worked. She worked for the post office and she worked for the military. So she was going out there and getting it regardless. My mother my mother was the type she was not missing a day of work. Like I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm not missing work. I gotta go get it. I'm raising this little hard headed ass knucklehead boy of mine by myself. I gotta go get it. So when I started working, that's where I got my instinct from. But a lot of others on the other side of the spectrum, you had an opportunity to get raised by love. You had an opportunity to get raised by both families. I'm sorry, both parents, mom and dad. Dad worked, mom was a stay at home work. In my family, I ain't gonna lie to you. I never seen a stay at home mom in my family growing up. Never, never, never seen it. Even my friends, never seen it. If I had friends that had parents that was married, it wasn't their dad, and it was rare. It was rare. My growing up, my best friend, um, his dad would his mom raised him same way. His mom went to work every day. So I don't think people understand and look at how we are differently raised. And I will admit, a lot of white people they are raised on love, and they do come out with love. And unfortunately, a lot of black people don't know how to receive it. I'm not going to lie to you. Even now, if you just okay, put it to you this way: do an experiment on your own. Congratulate and give a white person a compliment, and give a black person a compliment, and you can see the different reality. You see a white guy or white lady, you give them a compliment, they're taking it in, they're blushing. Oh, I thank you for saying that. Oh man, I appreciate that. Now you may get to that response with a black person, but it is very cringy for us to receive compliments and get love because a lot of us was not raised on love. You hear, man, stop it, man. You know, such and such did a better job than I did. And man, you just bowled 300. Man, I gotta thank my teammates. It was all them, man. They guided me, they helped me through it. It was them. It was like, man, you look good in that outfit. Man, this old thing, man, stop it, man. I don't look, man, this old, man. You looking good. Would you like that's us. Because we're not used to receiving compliments. We was raised on survival, not on love. And it was forced due to systemic racism. Um, and I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of it is our own fault. We could have built our own. Doing a deep dive into. I know we don't went way way left with this topic, but and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say so. A lot of it, I will say, is the Black African American fault because instead of trying to build our own thing, we were trying to be included. Doing some history into the civil rights movement, into the bus boycott. A lot of the issue was we wanted to sit at the front of the bus with white folks. The fuck for? A lot of people don't know this. A lot of business owners in the civil rights movement went to Dr. King with ideas of trying to start our own thing. During the bus boycott, there was churches out there trying to start their own bus companies, but it was, I don't want to say shut down, But it was like, that's a good idea, but we need to be included. So just imagine the civil rights movement for the bus boycott with Rosa Parks and all of that. It didn't even have to happen because we could have started our own bus company. So a lot of it, yes, it is on our own fault for not wanting to create our own and wanting to be included. But we're here now. We're people. If I cut you and you cut me, we both gonna bleed red. So moral of the story is ain't nobody better than nobody. We all got our own issues. We all dealing with the same shit. Work together. Um, and watch what you say to people. Treat people like you would want your mama to be treated, or your son or your daughter to be treated. The bottom line of it, and I think, don't get me wrong. Like if if you call me a bitch ass person, whether you white or black, hey, that's not racist. Because I might be acting like a bitch ass person at a time. Like, stand on how you feel for the person. Like, even if it's a disagreement, like, yo, I don't like you, motherfucker. Like, you call him a motherfucker. Hey, that's not racist, But calling me that because of my skin color or because you feel like you're inferior because of your skin color, that is what's racist, and you can tell when arguing with people. You know, like you can tell. So, but off that subject, I didn't know the Shador Sanders was going to take us that deep. Let me see what else we got going on. I was trying to play the fucking game, but I can't. What's the score? Anybody know the score? I know Milwaukee got eliminated. Oh, Nuggets is up. Third quarter. Nuggets is up. But yeah, we got a show tomorrow. We got Demetrius Wilcox on tomorrow. Mr. 899, fucking 7 pin. And then the crazy part is he was on 1 and 2. He was on 1 and 2 at Forest Park. And shot 899, excuse me. Shot 899 at Forest Park. 1 and 2. That is crazy. Then we also have Tynell Tate coming on, the CEO of the UBA. That is going to be a fun show. We're going to try to sell out this Deep South. Got to sell out the Deep South mixer. We need them to come back. We need them to come back. Left a 7 pin. 899 is crazy. Like the level of focus. Yeah, AJ Rice shoot 900. The level of focus that you have to have 29 out of 30 strikes. That's crazy. I'm still trying to get 30 clean frames, and this motherfucker striking all 30 frames. That is crazy. Shout out to Greg Black. He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Shout out to Greg Black. Long time coming. If you ever got like 5 hours to spare, pull up Greg Black on bowl.com and just read all his accomplishments. Big shout out to Greg Black, man. Yeah. Big shout out to Greg Black. Long time coming. He should have been a Hall of Famer. That is, yeah. Somebody the I believe Greg Black has more 800s than I have 600s. Let that sink in. Greg Black has more 800s than probably some of us have 600s. That's crazy. Big shout out to Greg Black, uh, Hall of Famer. Gotta say Hall of Famer when you say his name now. Um, Hopefully I can get him on soon. I'm gonna reach out to him. But we got Demetrius Wilcox, Mr. 899. He shot a 300 Monday at Conyers. Shot another 300 today at Southern. I know Southern announced their Tuesday. I think it starts next week, if I'm not mistaken. That Tuesday Summer League. So that's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be fun. Yeah, big shout out to Greg Black. Big shout out. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame ceremony. Like I was saying, if you got like 5 to 6 hours to spare, you at an airport or a doctor's office, just pull up Greg Black on bowl.com and just read and then go to the honor scores. Like I think some people they don't count sheep, they count Greg Black's accomplishments to go to sleep. Like it's crazy. Like they used to sing like 99 bottles of beer on the wall. They be saying how many Greg accomplishments we have. And like if we count his accomplishments from now and then by the time we finish, if we're driving from here, it should be probably Charlotte. Charlotte by then, by the time you get there, finish reading all his accomplishments. So big shout out to Greg Black. Like, yo, congratulations. Like I said, well deserved. Crazy thing is Greg Black made the Outsiders more popular because, like, when he put on that jersey, the amount of people that I see, they be like, "Yo, yeah, you on Greg Black's team, man." Man, I remember seeing him in the youth league. Like, there is a bunch of stories about Greg Black. Like, just people just didn't even want to bowl youth league. They just wanted to go to see Greg bowl. Like, I literally heard stories like that. So well deserved for the Hall of Fame. Future Hall of Famer Demetrius Wilcox will be on the show tomorrow. I'm not sure if Tynell, but he should be for what he started. He should be in a bowling Hall of Fame for the UBA alone. Since 2009, they're approaching 20 years. That alone should be for what how he's him and Phil transcended um, the sport, creating the UBA. He will be on Friday. So, but no, Thursday. I'm sorry. Demetrius will be Wednesday. Tynell Tate will be on Wednesday. On Thursday. I'm sorry. Got all my days of the week mixed up. I forget. It's only Tuesday. Sheesh. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I'm trying to think. We got Bad Intentions tournament is their doubles Saturday at Delk Road. Deep South Mixer, the 17th of May. If you need a team, need doubles partners, holler at me. Go ahead and reserve your spot. $75 deposit. If you pay that deposit, you don't have to pay when you get there because your fee is already paid. Just your team will have to pay the rest of it. So let's go ahead and sell that out. It's at Lilburn. So we don't got to drive. We can get up early, get up late. We're at Lilburn. So make sure um, make sure you're there. Got to sell out this Deep South Mixer so we can have more events and stuff out here. And then, we can kind of open our voices up to get things changed. Hey man, we appreciate you, Greg, because one thing about Greg Black, man, he's not selfish to he's not a selfish person. You know, he also will give, and give anybody who wants to sit down and talk. He'll talk to you. Big shout out to the new Vixen Tag Team Champions, Sierra Cumberland and D'Lo. Congratulations. Had to get a little sub help from Levinus. Levinus, big shout out to you for stepping in, helping them out. Can't wait. Can't wait to see the future. We got 2 tag team belts here in the Deep South with Joan and Mike being tag team uncapped champions. No, they're tag team cap champions. Then we have the Vixen champions. Big shout out to Sierra and D'Lo. Levinus with the helper. Appreciate you, Levinus. Called Levinus. Say, hey, Levinus, I got a great opportunity for you. I don't know no other bowler. I ain't gonna lie. Levinus was one of my first choice when they asked for help. Because somebody was Sierra was out of town. And she wasn't gonna make it. So big shout out to Levinus for stepping in. That's not an easy job because I think this was Levinus' first match. So I think, knowing those tag rules, that's big. We got Justin Sump going for the cruiserweight belt, I think, this month. He's going for the cruiserweight belt. So big shout out to Sump. As the Deep South, man, we get some belts. I think me and KC, we are in the uncapped. We're in the uncapped tag. I think after our last victory, I think we moved up to the top 5. Okay, 9983. Leonard Freeman said he has the trios. First of all, don't put 3,000 first place. 3,000 what? Oh, 3,000 first place based on what? This is Atlanta, dog. You can't just put 3,000 first place. But Leonard is throwing a trios May 31st at Paradise. 225 entry. But yeah, man, Deep South is doing some things. I understand it why they're going to split the division for the WCS because the Jokers just don't want to travel. I like it this way because then it really shows you who is the bowl. So Leonard said, based off of 60 teams, they get 60 teams. First place is $3,000, 75 a man for his trios tournament May 31st. I got to call Clyde. And she bowled with a pinched nerve and a numb hand. Dang. But yeah, Lavina, I had to get you on because a lot of people don't know the rules for the tag team. If you could put in the comments, like how did you feel adjusting to the rules of it? Like that a lot of people don't. So those of you who don't know, in the tag team, it's kind of like a modified Scotch doubles. I think Scotch is the one where I bowl and then you bowl pick up my spares if I leave any, I believe. But yeah, it's a modified version of that. Because when you do the tag, you have to do 4 tags. Exactly. You can't do less than 4, and you can't do more than 4. And if you when you do the tags, you can do them anytime, but whoever bowls first has to bowl the very last ball. It doesn't have to bowl the whole frame of the last frame, but you have to bowl the last ball. And then you have to alternate each game. So, for example, if I bowl the first frame, KC could still bowl the 10th frame, I just have to throw the last ball in the 10th frame. So you have to strategically do all of that. And for some, it works. For others, it doesn't. I get it. It is an adjustment, but it's fun. It's fun. So, but all right, peoples, I'm about to get off here. I'm actually a little hungry. So, I appreciate y'all for tuning in here in my rant. It was a little saucy. Know we talked about the Shador. But go ahead and get on this Deep South mixer. Go ahead and pay that $75 to confirm your deposit. They changed it from paid only to um, deposit now, which it should have been all along. So go ahead and do that. Get that out the way so you can already have your spot. I'm telling you, it's about to sell out. It's about to do a big push this last 2 weeks. So, but appreciate y'all for as always for tuning in. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Special guest Demetrius Wilcox.